Alright, what's up? My name is John Revilla. I'm here today to present my X-0 Locals Winamax Infernoble Knight deck profile. So let's just get right into it. Shout out Highlander Duelists. First, your best normal sum in the game, the triple Neospace and the one Dolphin. So you want to see this card as much as possible. It's your one card starter. Dolphin, self-explanatory, you know, back from the Goki era. You want to rip those hand traps out of your opponent's hand. And if you can't, this is really good Ash bait because they're locked into a situation where they either have to Ash this and risk me still having an extension, or they just lose it anyways because once Dolphin gets on the field, they're just gonna get it discarded. And yeah, it just helps you make your Isolde, gets those hand traps out of the way, and you should be normal summoning that most of the time. So after that, we have our extenders and starters. That's the triple Red Ranger, Red Layer, and the double Fire Flint Lady. So for Red Layer, he's best opener, no cards on field. It gets you a warrior body, and if you have your Neospace, if you do it before and then do your Neospace, you can basically discard almost any main deck monster from your opponent's hand because this is 22,000, so not many people run really big main deck monsters, especially since I was anticipating the based meta. A lot of combo pieces, really weak attack points, and Fire Flint Lady. This is just your body. You want it so that you just have another thing to make your Isolde. I was actually in a situation where I got the super quantum Red Layer and the Fire Flint Lady so that I can make it an Isolde without committing to my normal, and that just like psychs the hell out of my opponent. And yeah, it's just really good. Also, it has a second effect where you can special summon from hand. So I found myself in situations where I unfortunately drew both my Neospace and my Dolphin. So I would summon the Neospace, I use the effect, and then they can still Ash it or Imperm, but then I just summon the Fire Flint Lady and get the Dolphin from hand because of the second effect. Also, if you have an extender and your Neospace, you can get 2 hand rips instead of just 1. And in a meta where people are most likely running 2, you can get that Ash and that Gamma if they don't use it on those monsters already. Alright, after that, we're just going to be doing our Infernoble lineup. So we got our 1 Ogier. You just really only want to see this card at 1. It's a foolish for your Infernoble cards and like equip spells, but like you just want to see it at 1. It's mostly there so that it can stay in deck, so you can equip it to your Charles later on, so it's not destroyed. And other than that, sometimes I just use it to get like an Oliver engraved, so I can use like Droplet or something, or just spend it for cost and DDR it later with the Phoenix Blade interaction. So yeah, you just want it at 1. After that, we're going to be doing 2 Renaud. Most people play it at 3, but you kind of don't want to see it early in your hand, and you can easily search it anyway, so that's why we run 2. Never ever should you be using your Renaud to make your Isolde, because its special summon effect is once per turn, and you're gonna want it later in the combos to recycle your your DDR equip spell, or maybe just get like your Gearfried or your Living Fossil. Yeah, but this should be very late into your combo just to like keep going farther. And after that, we have the most important Infernoble Knight, our triple Oliver. So you always want this card in your hand. You also never want to use this for your Isolde. You want this so that if you bait the Ash or like some kind of effect with your Isolde, you're still going to have your equip spells engraved anyways because it's a cost. So you're going to have your Oliver as your tuner to get you into that Halki Firebrax, which makes it really, really helpful. Also, he has one of the best equip effects, making any warrior it's equipped to like untargetable, which is really good because Imperm targets, Chalice targets, like a lot of stuff targets. And yeah, you want this to be like late in your combos. You want to surprise your opponent, and if you somehow like rip enough cards but somehow get nibbed, you can use this. I've used this and a nib token to make my Halki Firebrax, and then my opponent just scoops. Like, if I can play through nib, like, it's you most likely win. After that, we got the Garnets. So we got Gamba. You just want this as your target for Isolde if you can get that effect. Most of the time, I will say though, I rarely go into Gamba if I don't have enough information on my opponent, because since this deck is built to get your Oliver always in hand a lot, that's usually just going to be your tuner for Halki Firebrax, and you kind of just want to use the Isolde to get your you know, your Dolphin, and just like rip another card from your hand. And we are doing the Aurora Hockey Firebacks package, so we're going with the Despot and the Cold Wing. Self-explanatory. Spam those tokens, get your synchros out. It's what this meta is about these days. All right, and after that we got our Plan B, Mortal Phoenix Gear Feed. Most people run this at 1, but I like running at 2 because it really just helps you protect yourself against a Nibiru if you see it early with a Neospace. Because after Isolde, this should be summon 4, so you can get this on summon 4 and get like maybe like an Oliver Engrave or something to equip to it, and that's your negate for the Nibiru, and just like play through your other synchro combos with like unfortunately one less space, but like that's not too much of a problem. All right, that's it for the main monsters. Now we're just gonna go for our spell cards. So for our searchers, Heritage of the Chalice, Reinforcing the Army, Rhoda, self-explanatory. It's Rhoda. Usually, I open with this card to either bait an Ash or get me my Neospace. It's a win-win. You know, baiting hand traps, win-win. Also, Heritage of the Chalice gets you. We want that Oliver in our hand as our tuner. He's our tuner extender, the tuner extender. So like, you just want to have it in your hand as much as you can. So you know, search it out, search it out. All right. Now we're gonna go for our hand trap lineup. So we got 2 Droll. So I feel like this is a lot better than Ash in this deck because your spaces are tight. That's why I'm running 2. Also, it's a lot more impactful long term for Ash because like, you know, a lot of these combo decks I saw, like, you know, Dinosaurs, Dragon Link, Sword Soul, you know, they're gonna be searching a lot. So blocking the amount of searches can sometimes just end your turn and be the difference when going second, which you're really bad at. And then after that, we run, the only other hand trap is the Gamma package. So like most people are very skeptical about running Gamma because like I said, you already have 3 Garnets. Like why would you want a 4th? And this card is also dead going first. Well, I like using Gamma because like I said, you need to have your most impactful hand traps. So this is a really good one to have. Also,
incredibly impactful.
Yeah. Also for your Heritage of the Chalice, a lot of the times I would either Heritage of the Chalice or like Rhoda. And after that, they drop the Droll on me, and I'm just like, oh, Gamma. And then we do run Cypher and Omega, so like, if that happens, you just get a free rip, which is really, really good on the rare times that does happen. And yeah, you know, self-explanatory. For the Garnet, you do run a lot of stuff that discard for cost, so you can just use it as ammo. It really isn't too much of a problem. And then after that, you know, we have our equips. We got 3 DDR, 3 Durendal, and your Phoenix Blade, your Living Fossil. So the first thing you're probably going to say when you look at this equip fill lineup, where is the Metal Silver Armor? You know, it makes Charles a soft lock. I personally went to this tournament knowing I was probably going to get a lot of my combos interrupted. So I wanted to just have these. These are all extenders, even Living Fossils. So yeah, you just want to draw into, you basically just want to draw into your extenders and use as many resources as you can to get you to that Halki, to get you to that Auroradon. So, you know, Metal Silver, it's good, but it's just a win more. It doesn't really do much in the grind game. And yeah, just draw into your extenders. And don't be afraid to use these a little too early if you have to, because you do kind of want to save your Durendal for, you know, the Renaud later on. But sometimes you just need that other combo piece, and then you just end on a pretty good board anyways. All right, so lastly, we have the One Called by the Grave. Great card. Amazing card. I've used this. This has saved me from Lancia. This has saved me from cards that tribute for cost, like a DPE or a Hieratic Seal. This card has saved me from everything. It can't come back from to 2. It's way too good in this meta. And also combo, you know, they're gonna be running 2 hand traps, so even one more out of the game, that's amazing. And lastly, controversial pick, triple TTT. So a lot of people think this card's bad, but like in the context of this deck, you're gonna be hand ripping your opponent a lot. So let's say you get the Neospace and you do bait the Ash. After the Ash resolves, you can just triple tack to either draw 2 for more extenders, which I actually rarely do, or if you have enough extenders, just get a full knowledge of their hand still that you would have had with the Dolphin, and just rip another. You know, it's good for. I ripped a Sword Soul player for 3 cards, and all he had was 1 Tenyi and a Droplet, which was useless because I played a Arclight anyways. Great card, but if you do want to replace this, because I know this isn't like some of the best options, I would replace it with a triple Imperm. Like I said, we need really impactful hand traps for our small flex spot space. So yeah, just run the Imperm, and you know, stop their plays. Alright, so now we're gonna go into the extra deck. So 2 Isolde. This is gonna be your main combo starter of the whole deck. And I run 2 because you can make it twice if you go for the double like hand loop. And because it's a combo deck, so space is really important. Your space, so you want to have your spots open. So sometimes you can just make your warriors into another Isolde, even if you don't get like another once per turn. And it's on summon, gets you your insurance policy, which is the Gearfried. 99% of the time, I'm searching the Gearfried with the first effect because, turn 2, if they somehow break your board, you're gonna have your Gearfried live, and you're probably gonna have a Renaud live too. So you can just go into that, and yeah. And for the second effect, like I said earlier, you only go into Gemba if you really know that they're not gonna stop you, because the Gemba it's a 2 equip spell cost, and we only have like 2 equip spells that are good and grave. Like you kind of want to have triple of the other for the power tool. So having Gemba's fine, but like don't be afraid to go for 3. Have like only 2 of DDR, 2 of Durandal. Normally I like having Renaud, so usually I just go DDR if you're going for the Dolphin with this play. But yeah, Isolde, queen of the deck. Alright, so since we're running Coldwing and Despot, we have to run Halki Firebacks and Auroradon. Self-explanatory. It's like every synchro deck runs it, and usually you're just gonna be using this and your power tool to get your Coldwing, because you want to have your extra deck space open for your for another card we're about to show right now. So for our machines to go in after the Auroradon, we got 2 Power Tool Dragon and 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosack. So the Power Tool Dragon you're running 3 of your most important equip spells, so you're gonna get an assured draw. Even then, it's a 2 out of 3, so it's pretty good. And since they're level 7, and you get an interaction where you have a Coldwing with 1 token, you can Ixie summon them into Dracosack, and this combo lets you get you another 2 tokens in a Despot, and also tribute a token, destroy your Balmung, and get your Coldwing back. It's just really good. So for our combo piece synchros, Captain Roland, Balmung, Shooting Riser Dragon. So Captain Roland, most of the time you want to make this before your Charles, because he's just like your resource guarantee. He has this effect where you can just search any Infernoble at the end of your turn. So I usually just get the Renaud, so you can just keep recycling your equip spells. And for Balmung, this is usually, you pop this, this isn't 1 per turn, so you can pop it and special summon your Coldwing twice in your combo. And it just, recycle your tokens, get more combos. And Shooting Riser Dragon. Usually you're going to be sending your Coldwing to make it a level 2, which works really well because this is a level 5, so your tokens are level 3. Quick mats, and it gets you another piece of ammunition for the grind game with Phoenix Blade. So after that, we have your end board cards: Arclight, Charles, Be Savage. So you want to mostly end on these cards. Your main combo is going to have you end on this and a Dracosack, and it gets you 2 Omnis, the macro from Arclight, and Boarload Savage Dragon. But I would say this is a lot more important than making your Boarload, because in a world of Forbidden Droplet, it's gone. Yeah. It's gone. You can't Droplet under this. No one runs Dark Loom no more. Unless you're poor. Yeah. And
unless you're poor.
Exactly. And yeah, sometimes if they Droplet you and you just have the Be Savage Charles, you're dead. It's gonna be hard. Or you're not technically dead, but you're just gonna lose it. And Charles, you keep him protected with your Oliver and your Ogier. Also, since we're not running the Metal Silver Armor, I usually like equipping the Durandal at the end of the turn, because it has a battle protection effect, and and you can just search it if it lives. And with Roland in your graveyard, Captain Roland, you can turn this into an untargetable pop during your opponent's turn. Really good. Gets you 3 interactions with this board and double Omni negates. And then after, we have the Psi Frame Omega. So this, we can make this with Gamma, but with DDR you can repeat this effect. It's not once per turn. Full combo lets you rip another card anyways, so it's really good. And I would say sometimes you do have the option to make your Be Savage and DDR and then make this, But sometimes you just want to, if your opponent has like no cards because you're going second and break their board, you can just make this twice, and they have like they either have to like commit to that one like heart of the cards top deck, or you just save it and just like rip whatever you top deck. I've ripped some crazy things from this, and yeah, it's Omega. All right, your last insurance policy, the access code talker. You know, you're going second, or like you don't win off of the second turn, but if they're still alive, just make your access code go for game, unrespondable. It's access code. That's really all you need to say. It's access code, and this is only like my last resort kind of play. I usually make this when like I just need to push for game, and they somehow break my board. You're gonna have enough materials for it because of the Renaud gear free, you know, standard shit. All right, so now to my side deck. We're running the double Dark Ruler No More. I usually side the triple tack out for this card, and maybe like some other random hand trap or like other cards in here, because I'm only running 2 of, because since Gamma is like it's like a 4-card thing, it really messes up the triples. So I run 2, and yeah, it's a lot better than Droplet for what I was expecting, because like if it was a based infested locals, like you're not gonna be able to Droplet, and that's just like $100 of like money down the drain. So yeah, Dark Ruler No More, Dark Ruler No More. Then we go for the Metal Silver Armor. I only side this in if I'm just extremely confident that I'm just gonna, you know, end on this board. They're not running many like negates and stuff, so you just make it untargetable. So like a lot of things target. Imperm targets, Chalice targets, you know, you can make it so that nothing targets, and I rarely side this card in, so you just gotta know your matchups at that point. After that, we run. I was expecting combos, and that I was right. So we're running the triple Nibiru. Enough said. It's a Nibiru, the bane of every combo deck player. Like, you know, I dropped this on dinosaurs. I dropped this on Dragon Link. I dropped this on a lot of people. Like it's really good to have. I side out once again. I side out the TTT for this, but if you want, you can side out your Drolls if you really don't think, you know, Droll's gonna work, or they're just gonna negate it. So yeah, that's Nibiru. And then after that, we're gonna just go for the 1 Twin Twisters. So I was expecting Trap Eldritch or Sky Strikers, which weren't actually too many at that locals. So thank God, because I only run this as my out. This is your out for skill drain. This is your out for like everything. So this is really good for everything. And if you see, it's a discard 1. So if you pull your bricks like Coltwing, you can make it live by discarding it for cost for Twin Twisters. And there's like alternate combos where you can summon it from grave. As you know, like Balmung summons from grave, so it's a really good target. After that.
Have you thought of playing more than 1 Twin Twisters or other spell trap removal?
If I was gonna run another spell trap, I'd just go for the Feather Duster. I would say, because I feel like Twin Twisters at 2 is a little clunky, but like Feather Duster is Feather Duster. You know, if it's really like bad enough, or IO's not a thing anymore, so like if it's really bad enough so that you need more than 2, I'd go for the Feather Duster. And so we have our anti-brave cards. We have the double Lancia, double Ash, and double Ghost Ogre. So I did run into one Sword Soul Punk player, but he wasn't running the Brave Engine, but I still was able to side these 4 in instead of my Gamma. So I run these as 2-ofs because like I basically replaced the Gamma package or like the TTT and Drolls if needed. And yeah, I was fully expecting like a bunch of base players and like a bunch of Brave in general. So these, you know, Aqua, like Water Enchantress, you know, the Faithful Adventure, and Ash. Just, you know, if they weren't searching enough so that like Droll was useless, I have the Ash just in case. That's why we're running 2 of. And after that, we just have one more card. I didn't have enough money to get my evenly matched, but like with Dark Ruler No More, you didn't really need it. And this is for Appaloosa, damaged, full Plan B. So you make a Link 3 in the form of a Auroradon. So you can just like, if they somehow like prevent that, or you get token collected, you still get to make your Appaloosa, and then maybe just like if you have enough extenders, just freestyle your combos. So yeah, it was really good enough. I only sided this once. I only side this if it's game 3, I'm going first, and I know like shit's about to go down. So this is, you rarely go into this unless you're running like the Phantom Knights run build, which I actually did side out because or like I cut it from my deck really early because my Shade Brigading is in Korean.
It's in Korean.
It's in Korean.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the deck profile. Of any other questions?
What decks did you play against for this locals?
Like I mentioned, I played against a Dragon Link. I played against a Sword Soul like Punk. I played against like 2 different dinosaur players and a side draft player, which was like kind of a free one. But yeah, there also Salads for some reason. That was like the last one, and the matchup knowledge is important because, like I said, your deck, we're running 42. Most combo decks are running 46 DJs for the double hand traps, but like I want to draw into my extenders, and like a good Infernoble player knows how to freestyle more than they just know their combo lines. So yeah, that's really it.
Why are you playing this deck?
I don't have enough money for Brave, so, and I also like really like the Infernobles, like thematic wise.
Yeah.
Like I have this weird philosophy where like I want my deck to also look cool. So if they look cool, like Charles, like I feel like Charles like looks sick, you know? I feel like Charles looks sick. So like having him as like my win condition is like really fun to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really it. And thanks for watching. Follow the channel for more deck profiles from our other club members, and I'll see you later. Peace.
All right.